Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk a little bit about strumming. Now, I actually have a video out on, how to improve your strumming. You'll find it someplace in the 600 or 700 videos that I have posted. But today I wanted to focus on this a little bit. I want to focus on a technique that you can do that will enhance the strum. It's called a hammer-on. I mean, listen to this. Here I'm just strumming a C chord, and you'll notice I have a capo on. That's just so I can bring everything down so you can see it in the camera. But here we are playing a C chord. Okay, that sounds pretty good. And I can get different sounds out of that just wherever I'm playing at, or how I'm holding my pick. In this case, I'm switching to the side. It's like a different sound. But that can change to this. Rather than you get. It's a totally different sound, and it's an easy movement to make. And it makes that C chord that you're strumming sound so much better. And it doesn't fit every piece of music, but there's times that it does fit. And so I want to talk a little bit about that. Hammer-on, doing a hammer-on. Now, you can do hammer-ons with any of your fingers when you're playing. In fact, I've heard somebody say that it's a good idea to practice without strumming. Just hammer on and get that sound. See if you can play a song with it. I don't know. It's not that simple. There's some people that have much better technique. So, yeah, you could do that. But when you're playing and you actually initiate a strum, you have momentum. And when you have that momentum, you can add that hammer-on. And so I want to talk a little bit about that hammer-on. And in this case, we're going to be just focusing on the C chord, the F chord, and a G chord, which I'm going to play this way, where I'm freeing up my first finger, and you'll see where I'm placing my fingers there. See that? Okay. I like to free up this finger sometime because I can hammer on right here, or I can change, or I can change it up a little bit, but I like that. I don't always play the G chord like that. A lot of times I just play it like this, because I can move over to the C. So that's kind of nice. And sometimes I'll just play it like this. Sometimes I'll play it like this. Sometimes like this. Sometimes like this. It just depends on what I want to do. And so, yeah, knowing where there's different G chords is a great idea. And having different ways to play it is a good idea. But for today, we're just going to do this. And we're just going to be working on the C chord, the F this way, and the G. Now this F chord, if you're having a hard time with it, then just put your pinky finger down. I think they call that an F9. I might be incorrect on that. But you're playing, in this case we have a capo here, but you're playing the 3rd fret if you don't have a capo on. Okay? So if you're having a hard time with it, make it that way. It'll work for the purposes of what we're doing today. Okay, so now that we have that established, let's listen to this a little bit. Okay, now that sounds a whole lot better than And you'll notice I'm getting 2 notes, almost like getting 2 strums for 1 strike. Get that? And if you were to count it out, like for instance, you're just doing down strokes, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so maybe you want to do some upstrokes with that. So let's say you do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and well, you could actually use a hammer-on there. See that? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I mean, you're getting 2 for the price of 1 because you're using a hammer-on. You'll notice though that I've used, when I'm doing the C, F, and G, and it works with this, doesn't work with every chord, but it works with C, F, and G. They go together. They're the 1, 4, 5. They're perfect. C, F, and G. You can play a zillion songs with those chords. But this, you'll notice when I make the C chord, I'm picking up my middle finger, and when I make the F chord, I'm picking up my middle finger, and when I make that G chord using this shape, picking up my middle finger. See that? So if you can remember for these shapes, try it with your middle finger. It tends to be stronger. I think it brings out a more pronounced sound. And the other thing that's interesting about the fact for those chords that I'm using the middle finger, well, let me just back up and just say it this way. When you have a chord, to make a chord, you have to have at least 3 notes, okay? And so those 3 notes, if you listen to anybody, they'll say the chords are made up of a 1, 3, 5, okay? And you say, oh, I don't need to know that. Don't tell me all that. Well, the reason why I'm telling you this, and it's actually pretty simple, but this 1, 3, 5 bit makes up a chord. What they mean by that is if your root is C or you're making a C chord, then the 3 here would be an E, right? Because C, D, E. And the G would be the 5. So you got C, E, and G make up, in music, it makes a chord, and it happens to make the C chord. Okay? So the interesting thing is that every time that I'm playing this hammer-on for these 3 chords and I'm using my middle finger, I'm actually hammering on the 3rd of the chord, okay? So with the C, it's the E that I'm using. It just happens to fall that way for these chords. And so for the F, it would be the F, G, A, right? So it's an A note. And for the G, it would be B, because it's the 3rd, all right? So I don't know if that helps you any. It's just interesting to me, and it just sounds good. For some reason, it just takes that chord, and you're working right in the middle of the spectrum of the chord, and you're pushing in a hammer-on. Doesn't that sound so much better than just doing... To me, it sounds a whole lot better. And so enhancing your strumming, an easy way to do that is to use hammer-ons. And in this case, we're doing a C-F-G, and I showed you how using your middle finger or using the 3rd of your chord and hammering on that note, it just brings out a whole new flavor. It's a beautiful, I think, has some depth to it, sound that comes out of that when you're strumming with your pick. So give that a try. And when you're thinking about improving your strumming, think about throwing in some hammer-ons, okay? You don't always have to necessarily use that middle finger that to make your hammer-on. That's not what I'm saying. But for those chords, C, F, and G, I think it sounds really great. You can use hammer-ons in any chords. But I think it's a good idea to kind of think about them. There I'm using the first finger and I'm playing a D sus. So you can use different fingers when doing this, but I just thought it was interesting that for C, F, and G, if you use the middle finger, you're actually hammering on the middle note of the chord, the 3, and it has a really neat sound to it. So I find it really interesting. All right, so I'm going to leave it right there. And I want to remind those that are members, coming up on Monday, we have our Zoom call. So if you want to be a part of that, make sure you send me an email. The information is on the membership posting. Take a look at that. You'll even see the email there. Or you can always find the email for everyone on every one of my videos under the description. The other thing is we have Christmas coming up. So I am going to be doing a card exchange again this year. I enjoyed that so much last year. If you send me a Christmas card, I'll send you one back. And I've got some new picks I'm going to throw in there. So if you send me a Christmas card, I'll be sending you a Christmas card back with a pick in it. That's a Guitar Notes and Notions pick. All right. So, all right, we're going to leave it right there. And I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.